Jagex has an incredibly difficult job in keeping RuneScape's beloved retro graphics, but still making things look fresh and new at the same time. And let's be honest with ourselves, the art team does an amazing job about this, which makes it really confusing why sometimes a simple design like these chests turn into this gosha game looking mess. I understand, previously it was somewhat difficult to determine what chest you were actually opening, but this feels like an overdone solution. And I don't think Jagex will be revisiting this, but in my opinion, they look pretty bad. It's not all bad news with this update, because low-level Slayers rejoice. Some of the lower-level Slayer Masters can now assign crabs. Don't worry though, they weren't added to Turiel, so it won't affect Turiel skipping. Speaking of Slayer, when your Slayer Cape activates at Konar, it will now assume the same area. So if you were lucky enough to get Abyssal Demons in the Catacombs and your Cape triggers, you won't end up having to do them at the Slayer Tower, or even worse, the Abyss. You can now use items directly on the Explorer's Ring to instantly cast High Alchemy. You can still open the old menu if you like, and yes, there are still warnings for expensive items and untradeable items. Guildmaster Jane has quicker dialogue now, allowing you an option to take another contract of the same tier instead of having to pick which tier. If you hover a fairy ring on the world map, it will now tell you which code it is. I'm 99% certain RuneLite did this in the past, so I think this is mostly an update if you use mobile or the two of you that are using the official client. And you can now buy seed packs for 30 points each at the Tithe Farm. These are equivalent to tier 3 farming guild contracts. Unlike the seed packs from the farming guild, the Tithe Farm seed packs have a slight chance to give you white lily seeds, so it's not a Hesperia only drop any longer. This should be a nice way for early Ironmen or skillers to get past some farming contracts they're stuck on if they get a contract they don't have the seeds for. Possibly the biggest update to the game this week is the skill guide description summaries. Every skill now has a short description of it when you click on it in the skill menu. For many of us that have played the game for years and years, this update does nothing. But thinking about how overwhelming the skills list can be when first playing a new MMO, this is huge. Just take a look at some of the YouTube series of players playing the game blind. This is a huge resource and helps overcome the feeling of being overwhelmed for many new players. Speaking of new players, when creating a new account, you'll be asked if you are brand new, returning, or experienced, and it will preset some of the settings for you. But you still probably want to go through some of the options even if you select experienced player, because a lot of us want a minimum value alch so we don't accidentally alch our Saradomin God Swords or any of our untradables. I've played this gear for years and years and years, but even I am iffy on prayer drain rates. But if you have the prayer tooltips enabled, you can now hover a prayer to see how quickly it drains. This is a good update, and there's not really a lot to say about it. Now if you report a player for botting and they get banned, you'll get an email in your message center letting you know if action was taken. I don't know about you all, but Jagex is about to be spamming my inbox. Emote looping was added a few weeks ago, and with this week they added 45 more looping animations. I've been loving playing with these, so this is just a really cool update. And Hardcore Ironmen got a huge update. Previously, if you disconnected or logged out in Tombs of Amasket or TOB, it was RIP to your status. But now, if you have a crystal NDC, it will activate and your status will be saved. Hooray! Filthy Ironman. There were a few Deadman World updates as well, but I'm not comfortable enough with that game mode to speak to it. I've linked the full update in the description if you want more information though. That's about all for today's update, but a JMod on Reddit did confirm that the Castle Wars updates are coming next week, so look forward to those. Hope you all have an amazing day, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.